Chinese infrastructure vs US infrastructure. China's construction has shocked the American engineers. Why is this? Who do you think is the real superpower? Today we are in a neutral position to learn about the infrastructure of both countries, and maybe you will find the answer here. Here are China's infrastructure: high-rise buildings, advanced transportation systems, bridges across the mountains and seas, even in the rural areas, high-rise buildings and concrete roads, which is what China is now. Since 1980, in just 30 years, China has built huge buildings at an amazing speed, and the urban transportation, energy, communications, technology, engineering, airports, hospitals, shopping malls and military affairs are all developing rapidly. No other country in the world can develop as fast as China can develop. China now has the world's largest highway network, a railway network, and a total of more than 140,000 kilometers of expressways. It is no exaggeration to say that 8 of the 10 highest bridges in the world are in China. They build bridges through mountains and rivers, even in the dangerous cliffs and valleys. China takes decades to build them as long as it benefits the people. Because the Chinese government's philosophy of work is to serve the people of the whole country. Only when the people live a happy life can the country get better and better. China is not only bridges, but also the largest in the world, with the longest high-speed railway network in the world. In just a decade, its railway mileage has increased by 1.1 million kilometers, equivalent to 27 laps around the Earth's equator. Among them, China's high-speed rail has exceeded 40,000 kilometers. No country in the world can rival China. People who have been to China will know that China's infrastructure cannot be finished for 3 days and 3 nights. If you think they are still very backward and think the Chinese people are still eating bananas, it would be wrong. They have created one world miracle project after another, and even shocked the American engineers and many countries in the West. And many people do not believe this fact, but in fact it is happening. In addition, China is a country like peace and progress. They have helpful spirit. In addition to developing the construction of their own country, they are also helping the rest do the same, through all the way, China to more than 100 countries to build their roads, railways, power plants, ports and other infrastructure, including Egypt, Nigeria, Poland, Pakistan, Italy, Switzerland, Malaysia, and many other countries in the world. Like the Central Tower of Egypt's new capital, a desert project, and the port of Colombo, Sri Lanka, which China has helped them complete. We believe that in the future, China will shine in the world and make more contributions to world stability and development. Now let's look at the streets of the United States. These are the poor areas of the United States of America. And America spent $2.5 trillion on the war in Afghanistan. Wouldn't it be better if the money was spent on American infrastructure? But this is the state of the United States today, with excessive social civil unrest, racial discrimination and peace, and unequal political parties. People can go out of the street with guns. Girls dare not go out alone at night, and people here enjoy violence and decadent culture. When the United States puts ambitions in other countries, internal infrastructure is on the verge of collapse. A divided country, unable to reach an agreement, a country that provoked disputes in the world, has lost its position and power in the world. In recent years, every president who has served in the US has talked about improving the country's infrastructure. But so far, the US has remained unchanged, or even worse. On August 1, 2007, due to lack of supervision and inspection, the Minneapolis City Highway I-35W bridge suddenly collapsed in the river. The tragedy happened when more than 100 vehicles suddenly collapsed into the river below. The tragedy caused by the bridge killed 13 people and injured 200 people. After that day, until now has 15 years. No matter who the president is the question is still not solved. The old bridge is still collapsed. The United States has 56,000 bridges. About 1/10 of the bridges need emergency repair and replacement, but was ignored by the government. In the final analysis, suffering or local ordinary people, in the eyes of the world, such a developed country, there should be no bridge collapse. Now the United States is increasingly in debt. $30 trillion in debt is a staggering figure. When will the money be paid off? If the debt is more, the life pressure of the American people will be greater. So when will the American infrastructure recover? China has invested heavily in its infrastructure because it understands that good infrastructure is good for economic growth. The American infrastructure is huge, but mostly old and has poor repair, and requires a lot of money to repair, rebuild, or replace. But they don't. But they will spend trillions of dollars on guns, bullets, and war, in a very sad state. China every day is busy with new infrastructure and improvement. As long as it is beneficial to the people, they are at huge cost. Now China's rural construction than urban. Now China's rural, like Crossfalls Village, have special garbage recycling station. People can walk leisure. Rural mud road built the cement road. Rural beauty let many young people will go back to the countryside on holiday. If old America can't find a worse place in China, perhaps China's system itself is better than the United States, whose so-called democracy makes it a dangerous country. Now China is a very safe country, and the police and people here are very law-abiding. China is the safest country I have ever seen in the world. At night, people can have supper on the streets, which is not experienced in the United States. If you like my video, please comment below and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.